dart-shaped holes on my goddamn wall. Oh, you guys are here.
He was looking for a tiny woodpecker for the last 2 years.
You know what? I've seen weirder birds than Bakersfield. So I remember tripping out the first time getting my own apartment in Oildale, great spot, and seeing a bunch of very beautiful cockatoos and stuff, and like lovebirds in the trees. Why are there so many exotic birds in Oildale? Like, just let them go. You get bored. How do you get bored of a bird though? They're not. It's not like a big dog or a scary snake.
I love birds. Honestly, that's what I want. Like I want a bird of prey.
You keep ravens as pets?
I don't know, but if I find one, why comes crazy?
Yeah.
To ride my dog.
You had a place that.
Oh yeah. So my mom, when she first moved up here, she had a really nice house. They had a big main house where her and the kids lived. Had an apartment at the garage where he was staying at, and down the driveway, like 50 yards, had a secondary house. That's where I lived. So we all lived together. She loved us. What she wanted. She always wanted. Well, I put an old couch outside of my front door, and we're coming home late one night from work, and there's a hawk on the couch. I guess it was injured. It was just sitting there. And I kind of like looked at it, looked at me. I got a picture somewhere through the window looking at it, but yeah, it was there all night. So I just put a little food outside, and it was cool. It was chill. Yeah.
That was a trippy experience. Just middle of the night, and there's a giant bird there. I'm like, it definitely didn't care for us, but it liked you. It had a soft spot for you. And now that I've started us, hi guys, how's it going? Miguel Rodriguez here for the Bakersfield Gentlemen. Tim, and this is a new name for me right here. Blubber Baby Pudgy Bumper. Thank you for joining us. I think this might be your first time here. If not, I apologize for that.
Name.
But that was I had to mention that because I've not seen that name pop up before.
I think it's worth mentioning.
It's a solid name. But guys, we have important things to talk about today. We've got important subjects to discuss, not just birds, but cigars. Very good cigars, very delicious cigars that we're holding right here. Thanks to this gentleman, sir.
Right.
Look at this, Kevin in the house.
No sirs around you.
It's the Bakersfield Gentleman. It's still in quotation. We got to make the shirt that has it in quotation, I think.
Now, I will say, we did talk about this cigar before PCA because we did get the press release, so make sure to post it.
Mm-hmm.
And because of my love of the Midnight and the Harvest, I was looking forward to this one probably most of all the cigars that we talked about before the show. I like the Harvest. The Midnight for me has just been phenomenal. I love how dark it is and how rich it is. So when I saw how this one, the Follow, right? Follow, was similar in shade of leaf, I was really stoked. I was like, I can't wait to try that. If it's anything like the Midnight, I'm gonna love it.
It wasn't just us though talking about it, by the way, because I was on with Boston Jimmy, and he was very excited for it as well. There was multiple people who do what we do. I would say better in some cases. Even don't tell anyone that, internet. But that I love watching them as well. That it's across the board. I think excitement.
Real quick, not to cut you off. Sam's tuning in. We haven't seen Sam in quite a while. I don't think you've seen Sam in like over a year.
I missed it last time he was in town, brother. I hope not even new place at this point, but your home is keeping you happy, brother, because we miss you in Bakersfield.
Yeah, definitely let us know next time you're in town so we can meet up, have a cigar.
Now that we can get back to the cigars, though, please.
Yes, sorry.
Sorry, sir.
This is a hang, man. Let's see, Sam's here. We got Blubber Boy Pudgy Bumper. I like that.
It's going to take me a while.
Brother, that's almost like a tongue twister, man.
It is.
Say that when you're drunk. Tim, I can say that last name. Scroggins?
Scroggins. Yeah, Scroggins, good guy. He's actually on our board over there, too. Awesome. We mentioned it beforehand. We do the tournaments, right?
Yeah.
Well, this guy destroys us all at Cornhole and then leaves. Like, all right, you guys have a good night. Later. No, I'm just kidding. He didn't do it like that.
Just drops the...
Yeah. Just gone. No, he's never done that to us. I was hoping you could actually come say hi tonight, but he might be busy. But either way, we put the word out like, Kevin's coming. You guys got to make us look good. Like, we actually know people. Like, we have friends. And then we come to this empty room right now.
Blake was here.
Blake took off.
Blake, he saw like, oh, if you want to hang out with them, not my kind of people. We got to get out of here. No, I'm just kidding. That's a joke. Oh, my God.
So, in case anybody's not familiar with this Artista line, you mind going over them for them?
Yeah,
we'll
for
start.
sure.
We'll start with the harvest. I'm backwards, so there we go. Harvest.
Yeah, you got it.
So we launched the Harvest and the Midnight at the same time. Harvest is Indonesian Sumatra, and it's very good. It's a little bit like smoking ginger. You get a little bit of cardamom, a little bit of baking spice, a little bit of kind of like black pepper on the back of the palate there. It's very good. It's a medium cigar,
Mhm.
slightly complex, but it demonstrates what you can do with the Indonesian Sumatra. On the binder, we've got a little bit of Maripel Cameroon from Africa. And it's incredible.
And if I remember correctly, he's the only place to get like the original OG
The OG,
Cameroon.
400 years of such a good dude. Good
Yeah,
guy.
yeah.
Again, box press, just like this entire line. Box press, Toro, Robusto, standard sizes, but it's an incredible cigar. The Midnight, now that's something completely different. It's our first full strength, full body cigar that we launched in the Artista. It's incredible. You love it.
I absolutely love it.
We talk to so many people, and they keep saying, "Man, can you just keep making them the Midnights?" I got top 25 cigar journal. It's been hitting everyone's lists. We're not surprised by how well it's done, but we're very, very happy with that. Other people are super happy with it. We make cigars that we really like.
Mm-hmm.
That is the Ecuadorian Habano from our farms in Ecuador. And the binder, it's a Connecticut shade from our farms in Ecuador as well. So again, it just demonstrates what you can do when you've got your hands on the tobacco and it's yours. You're carrying it from process to process, place to place, managing that tobacco. And the wrapper on there, that Ecuadorian Habano, it's a Maduro. It is so dark. That's why we call it Midnight. Only 1% of the harvest will actually come out of it. The yield, you know what I mean? Only 1% will come out like that. After all the processing, after all of the fermentation, after all of the stuff that we do. So you're getting something special when you're smoking Midnight. I think a lot of people agree with that. It is pretty special.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I think the first time not the first time, it's probably a couple. Every time we talk about him, we try to smoke one. He'll smoke one, I'll smoke the other, and that was the easy way to do it when the first came out. But he'd always get the Midnight. As much as I love the Harvest, I want that darkness. Right. It's just so nice. I would say rich, but I want a word that's above that.
Yeah.
I guess like stinking rich, but it's just, and I did not realize that. I would have assumed just on my own side of my own mind, because I have not got to go see the farms in person, is that it was like an age longer on the vine process or on the tree process versus coming out of such a selective amount and just getting that little bit out of what's already amazing tobacco. So you're sitting on top of the top.
Yeah, I mean, the leaf comes off the tree. It goes into the barn and it's cured. Then it hits our process, and we have a pre-industry. We have 6 big, huge warehouses, and we go through and hand sort every single leaf. Sometimes there's 300 ladies in there with specialized lights looking down at the tobacco, pulling out the leaf, and they're sorting away size and color and grading the tobacco the whole way. And frankly speaking, man, I mean, those eyes are the best eyes in the business, because they're moving quick, but they're very persistent. They know exactly what they're doing, and they're placing this leaf down. And again, it's only 1%. And that just that goes into the way it's fermented, the way it's handled, the whole thing. So that wrapper leaf is it's incredible. And that's why it's so good, because that wrapper.
It's undeniable in the taste. It really is. That kind of specialty, that kind of, what was the word I'm looking for? Not observance, but quality control. I think that'd be the best way to describe it. It stands out once you taste it, once you actually get a light up, like the effort. I think that's another thing that's always amazed me about cigars, all the effort that goes into the farm, to these individuals who have honed skills, to these boxes right in front of us, and everything gets broken down into hour and a half of enjoyment.
Right.
It's crazy how much goes into that.
I mean, it's been said there's 300 sets of hands that touch the tobacco before you're the last one to light it up. And I mean, honestly, I've seen it myself. It's crazy. And you said it. I mean, without saying it, this is a work of art. Yeah, that's why we call it Artista. We've had people come down to the factory and ask us, so who's the artist in Artista? And we go look around.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, every single one of these people has a craft, and they're very, very good at it. You know, this is like a symphony. Yeah.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. I'm stealing that. Somebody
Good,
can say
man.
that sooner or later.
Archie, how you doing? Thank you for joining us.
Good to see you. And I believe, gosh, I'm gonna say your name right sooner or later, brother. I apologize. Blubber Baby, because Cameroons are his favorites. You've got good taste. That's some good stuff right there. I know we all partial certain leaves, but it's really nice to have a company that can choose from and have a couple different leaves on this category right here alone,
Yes, sir.
and get to enjoy different things. I've seen myself gravitate towards certain ones, but I don't want to do that because there's such great flavor profiles throughout different, regions, different, blends. I don't want to get stuck on just Cameroons, but I could, absolutely could, because it's good stuff. Oh, all right. But back to what we were talking about right before we started rolling. Really, it's coming up for you for Artista for 10 years.
Hold on,
What?
everybody. We got one more to go over.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, you have your you want to run down.
Yeah.
You do realize though that we should be doing the rundown for him, like it's the opposite. Like we should know all this.
You should do that.
We should get inside
And I'll
information
correct you.
here.
Oh shit! No, I'm not gonna do that. No, I'm scared. But actually, this is my first time smoking the Falu.
Come on, really?
I've been sitting on the other one, letting it in our humidor, so we didn't want to.
It's the right move.
'Cause-
When you're at Vegas,
Mhm.
the cigars dry out. Those poor cigars sat, the ones everybody sampled, they sat for 3 weeks in Vegas in a warehouse.
Wow.
Now we pack them with Bovedas. We make sure everything's in plastic and all wrapped up, but you can only do so much.
Mhm.
So that's the right move. You gotta let them rest.
And we learned that after maybe our second or third time doing it. So when we get samples from you guys, we bring them home, we put them in the humidor, we let them get used to, being here. So we'll take our stuff and we'll smoke our stuff over there. We'll go see
Yeah.
Raj and get some from him.
Yeah. And that's why I brought you these, because these have been sitting in my humidor for about 3 months since we started putting the hands on. So they're very well. They're perfect. They're perfectly balanced.
Oh, just a little bit, yeah.
So you want to know a little bit about the Falu?
Please.
Okay. Well, you're looking at a Connecticut broadleaf wrapper. It's grown on our farms. The binder is, so it's new for me. You have to forgive me. Indonesian Sumatra. And the filler blend is a little bit of South American and Caribbean. I can't tell you where from South America, but it's incredible. And if you've tasted the tobacco before, in this blend, it seems to sing better than in any other blend I've ever smoked it. I think we've all tried it before,
Mhm.
but it's incredible. It's a very small country, makes very good tobacco.
So it's like feel like a dancer finding the right partner finally, and now it can show off its moves right here. I like that. Oh my goodness! And it is starting out. I'm not quite just beginning now, guys. As you can see, the ash is going on very nicely. Oh my god, it is tasty.
It's so good. I told who did I tell? Cigar Coop. I said, man, this is the cigar I wish we came out with first.
Mhm.
So that way I could be smoking it for the last 2 years.
I think you guys nailed the order in the head, though. I guess a lot of people want to start with something a little bit, on the shade, at least a little bit lighter on the wrapper and one darker. I get that, and it just makes me feel like, yeah, this is the home right there. This is the base I want to build off of, kind of thing.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
We got a lot of questions. It does make sense. We got a lot of questions at PCA. It's like, well, you already have a full body,
Mhm.
full strength cigar at midnight. What's the difference with this one?
That was my question. I remember that. Yeah.
And I mean, we heard that several times, and I think it's a very fair question. Let's smoke it. You tell me. You tell me what the difference is.
It's-
'Cause
it's-
it's a
yeah.
totally different.
Like the
flavor
9-day.
profile.
9-day.
I think that's the next. Gotta do an exclusive for that. Smoke all three of them. Give it that back-to-back moment. Obviously, I'll probably start with Harvest and work to newest, or I guess earliest to newest editions. Have a good night of that. And that's not even for you guys. That's only for me. If you guys want to watch it, that's half the show. Honestly, I feel like, is anyone enjoying this, or am I just enjoying myself? And you're kind of just there for the ride. And I apologize if that's the case sometimes.
So for the latest one, you did go over a reason for the red. as like barnyards and whatnot.
Yeah.
From back when. As far as the midnight and the harvest goes, that's kind of midnight, dark blue. Harvest is kind of like wheat kind of a thing. So I'll tell you, those colors are there.
Yeah, we've been selecting these colors based on a palette, and so yellow, gold, it was harvest gold. Like to make paint, they name stuff, certain things. So it was harvest gold when we selected that color, and it said gold. It seems perfect. Let's just go with harvest. Midnight blue, and then Falu is Falu red. So that red, the name Falu comes from Northern Europe, Sweden, Norway, where they actually grow tobacco, and they would paint these barns this red. It's mixed with some minerals and some iron shavings, and they put it up on the barn, and it protects the wood, it protects the tobacco.
Okay.
And then when people started to immigrate to the States in the 1800s, they brought that recipe with them and the knowledge of how to build barns, the knowledge of tobacco. They brought their seeds. So they started putting up barns. So if you go to like Pennsylvania, New Hampshire, Minnesota, Wisconsin, you're going to see these red barns.
I said that red is distinctly barn. And honestly, the gold as well, being from FFA high school,
Right, totally.
that gold, that it stuck out. You said harvest, like, obviously, makes perfect sense. Just I'm picturing the logo in my mind right now, that the FFA shield.
Yeah.
That's almost the exact same gold, if not the exact same. I want to say theirs is supposed to be corn gold or something.
Okay.
But it's a harvest.
Yeah.
It is a harvest. And this is exactly what I picture when I think of harvest. All the way down, obviously midnight blue, perfect.
Right.
But once you explain it, I can't not picture the barns. It's that picture on your grandma's wall of a barnyard setting in the countryside. You actually go to those places. There's plenty still standing because, like you said, it protects the wood. It's one of those things that it worked then. It's going to continue to work now.
Absolutely. It's iconic.
Yes. Richard, how you doing? Again, you guys, if you have any questions on any of the stuff from Artista, whether it's the Buffalo 10, the Core line, the new Hall of Fame that's coming out in two sizes.
Two sizes.
One is a standard, one is a special edition.
Limited edition. Yeah.
Make sure you guys get those in. I know that the Buffalo 10 is very popular here, and Ram said one of your guys' most popular cigars as well.
Yeah, we've done 1 million cigars in 5 years now. It'll be 5 years in July. We launched at PCA. Honestly, surprises no one that we've done really well with that, except for the factory. Honestly, man. Because see, I started with these guys in 2016. We've known each other for a real long time. I've known Ram since he was 21. Basically brand new at the factory. And over time we developed a relationship and it was good. And then we launched Cimarron, which is good, Puro Ambar, which is good as well. But I got tired of seeing some of the same old, and I said, okay, I want to do something totally different. And they said, well, what is that? We're only 3 months away from the trade show. So what can you do that's different? And I already had the packaging laid out. I had the whole box design, everything, the whole program done. Because I'd been thinking about this program for literally 10 years. See, I've been in over 1,000 shops, so much time.
Right.
And I talked to guys. I tried to sell them cigars, sure, see what's going on, but like, what would you like? What would your customers like? Like, if you had like the Goldilocks cigar, what would it be like? And that's what Buffalo 10 would be. And try to explain that to the guys at the factory who they just touch tobacco. That's their job.
Yeah.
They're not really talking with retailers. They're not talking with consumers. They're not working with media. So they're saying, well, a box press at $5, that doesn't make any sense, And I said, please trust me. I know I'm the only gringo on payroll. Okay, I get that. I know, like, I come in here and I make a bunch of noise and I tell you guys you're doing things crazy, but trust me, I'm the crazy one, but I have a great idea. And they did. To their credit, they did, because it took a lot of faith for them to give me a program like that.
Yeah.
And it took off. In large part thanks to your efforts, in large part thanks to the community out there, the cigar community. They just embraced that cigar. But we made it for them. Honestly,
It shows.
It's a cigar for every day for every man.
It honestly shows. And not taking away anything from the Paperboy, because that's good stuff too.
Oh my god!
But just something about the entire, like you said, the entire rollout though too, because the cigars are great. That's the base right there. But everything to get people to actually try it for the first time is the packaging. Is just there's plenty of good or at least decent bundle cigars, sure, but I don't have to reach up there anymore. For that 25 pack. No, I've got a 5-pack right there. I can get a one of each,
Right.
and have a great time for us like a week, honestly. There's a lot more cigars. I was gonna say, oh, you have a whole month worth of cigars, but that's not true anymore. So I buy 2 5-packs. That's fine, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's so much nicer than. And don't get me wrong, I'm not against like the C'est La Vie or any of that stuff or any of the factory rejects. Those are fine. Those got their spot.
Other place.
But now they're even further down. I don't even look at them because now I've got this to work with. It's so much nicer. It's so much better than. I feel bad saying this, but it's just quality and price point have hit so much better. You really don't need the bundles.
Yeah, and I mean, I know I did. I mean, I used to make a lot of bundle product when I worked for another company, and I know those buyers.
Mhm.
This cigar Buffalo Ten doesn't really take away from those guys. It adds to their humidor. They're still buying their bundles. They're still going to buy their Cuban rounds, their Cuban rejects, their scorpions and that sort of stuff.
Nothing wrong with that.
But if they want to step it up, they want to do something a little bit nicer, give it a nice little pop. $5.50 outside of California. Inside California, it's like $35. But like honestly, dude, like that cigar is for the guy who's coming into the humidor, never smoked before, looking for something that's interesting to him. Or maybe
not an acid.
Yeah, exactly. Like because the cigar really demonstrates the strength of our factory.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe not a lot of folks know this. We don't really talk about this a whole lot, but I think you guys know this. We're the largest leaf tobacco leaf grower in the Caribbean.
Well, I'm gonna toot your own horn.
Yeah, I mean, I'll toot it right now,
please.
But honestly, so you're looking at guys who have their hands on all this tobacco all the time, and it's really just economies of scale. Retailers and consumers ask, "How can you make a cigar at that price?" Say, yeah. We have the tobacco. We grow it ourselves. We're rolling it ourselves, and we're distributing it ourselves.
Right.
There's nobody in the middle to take a cut except for Uncle Sam.
Okay.
There's no one getting around that though.
All day, every day.
The only other option would be to go Cuba route. And I don't think anyone wants that. I don't think they want, the Department of Tobacco and Sales, U.S. I don't want to see that logo or anything anytime soon. No, this is. It's more. No, that's the opposite of what I'm trying on. It's priced at a point where it could be way more, honestly. And I think like you said, you made it for the guys who want that, and that's something that average Joe like myself versus some of our buddies who have ran cities, huge companies that we got to hang out with because everyone's equal in the lounge. They're all sitting on the same couches.
From bums to billionaires, man.
Yeah, we can all enjoy it.
Yeah,
and they see the quality that goes into it. Then you taste it, and you want another one. I love the Buffalo 10 series across the board. I think that has got to be one of the most I've smoked out of anything. That's not even price point wise. It's just everywhere across the board because they are that good, and I can enjoy all of them. Now, I think I have other ones I like in their ranks, but I think I love them all equally at the same time because that just depends on the mood. They're all incredible.
I love the Maduro. I'm not supposed to pick which child I like the most, but Maduro.
Love them all equally,
Yeah.
It's got T13 in it, which is a hybrid tobacco, and it's just you're not going to find that in any other blend. We grow it exclusively. It's so good.
Not to put you on the spot, but can you explain to everybody what a hybrid tobacco is?
Oh yeah, no, for sure. So they literally take 2 different types of tobacco, as they're growing, and they make them kids. They rub their organs together. And they try to get a seed that is a combination of the best attributes of one plant and the best attributes of the other plant. And it takes forever. This T13 took 10 years of development.
Wow.
Yeah. No, it's really good tobacco.
See, I wish I would have paid. Again, this is back to the FA days. I should have paid more attention when we had a chance to work with the first cherry growers in California here in Bakersfield. They had the first cherry orchard.
Really?
Yeah, it was. And that wasn't even the part that was the most exciting. Even though I was geeking out, like this dude, you and your dad grew the first cherries in California. That's crazy. They were hybriding roses for competitions. Like you see the rose.
Yeah.
I guess we have rose competitions. Still the best word for a rose tournament, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. And then when I look back, I'm like, damn, why didn't I just learn from this dude when he was still around? I had that opportunity because I feel like I would know more, and it would allow me to have known more coming into the industry about what that means to create something like that, to put that time and effort. Because I feel like the crossover is different for different reasons, but it's the exact same for the result. You're looking for something better and more unique and signature you. And the fact that you guys have that, can't deny how awesome that is. Like the effort, I don't know if everyone appreciates it, but once they smoke it and they know about it, they're gonna appreciate it more.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about the artists in this industry, right? But the agronomists, the guys who handle the tobacco in the ground, those guys are wizards. I mean,
They're getting soil samples and all that.
oh my
Yeah,
gosh,
yeah.
it's incredible what they're able to do, and it's a ever-changing environment that they're dealing with.
Mhm.
They've got to deal with the climate. They've got to deal with soil conditions, like you stated. They've got to deal with mold and viruses and bacteria. I mean, they are simultaneously a doctor and I don't know, what do we call it? Maybe like a babysitter at the same time.
Right,
what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Like they're trying to take care of what could happen if somebody gets sick, but they're also caring. It's like, husband.
Yeah.
They're caring for this plant that grows tremendously fast from seed to basically harvest. You're looking at 80 to 100 days.
And that's why seedlings are in nurseries.
Yeah,
It's literally
yeah, for sure.
literally babysitting, and the amount of knowledge that goes into that, and it's not, they can't just be book learning. It's got to be in the soil on the ground.
Yeah, you gotta have your fruits there and whatnot. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Real
So,
quick though,
Archie is asking, what are the cigar shop prices on the Artista? Now, of course, MSRP for these is going to be the same, but when you get to California, you're going to pay a lot more.
understand about California, please.
Whether it be California, there's other states that have owners tax. It's wild, but since we're all California boys, outside of the state of California, you're looking at $10.20 MSRP for the Robusto, $10.40 for the Toro.
That's incredible. Again, it could be there, but they're taking care of you, keeping it right there. That's and not just that though, because you guys are making your own stuff, but how many people ran blends for and whatnot. And what was the Tyson, what's the full name of the Tyson cigar, the knockout? Oh, Undisputed.
Oh, yeah.
Undisputed 2.0. And he was over there, shaking hands and whatnot. I got a few pictures of that. I'll post them up later.
I'm jealous, man. We were so busy. I couldn't break away.
I was like, damn, the whole team should be over here for that, checking it out.
What do we call it?
It was a madhouse, though.
Yeah.
People want to see Tyson. I want, yeah.
I was up right behind Miguel next to the little rope they had. Just getting closer and closer. I'm like, I can't do it. I had to leave. I was like, nope, can't. Too many people right here.
I learned my lesson from, we had to cover the Padron Arturo collab, what, 2 years ago now?
Yeah.
And I set up like 20 minutes early because I knew it would get crowded. People set up right in front of me, even though I was already there. Like I was one of like 5 people who got there early.
Oh, you're driving out there? That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this time I was at the black rope right there in front of it, pushing me out of the way. The only ones who got in the way was his security detail. I was like, okay, their job, I guess, but I'm gonna just lean to the side there, buddy. Let me just get. It was intense to say the least.
Yeah.
But as you said though, you guys were ridiculously busy the whole time. Did you get even a moment to yourself to go talk to everybody?
Kind of like that last day of PCA. It was slow down a little bit. We had a little bit of a lull right in the middle. Everybody was tired. Some folks went home.
I'd say some people went home. Yeah. Yeah.
Which is a shame because the show was bigger this year than it has been in a few years. But sales was great. We just caught up with a lot of pros. It was really, really fun. It was a good show this year. I think you guys had a good time. Walking around with a Buffalo 10 guy too.
I think we walked around.
Yeah.
because we didn't have as many days, because we're used to getting in on Friday
Mhm.
and having at least a few hours Friday night to do some stuff, and then Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday we wrap up. We didn't get Friday. All we really had was Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So the first day we were kind of running around making sure everybody was good. Sunday we were running around getting most of our recordings. Monday we finished up.
Yeah.
So I mean, it went by really
It's like
fast.
a blitz.
Yeah, really fast. I do have a question. It's a two-parter. We were talking with Sherman over at Gurkha, who's the rep from California, Arizona.
Yeah, I think it's 3 states. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's
Because one of their dragons was made by you guys. So my question is, how does, if you can answer, like, how does that come about as opposed to working with David Ortiz? Like, are just like the same thing? They come to you, you go to them, or
I mean, every relationship's a little bit different. I think in the case of Gurkha, but it's been a really good partnership.
okay. That's why I'm definitely excited about trying, because I was looking at the displays. I was like, whoa, wait, let me see that one.
oh this
Yeah.
Then I was a little confused though. We didn't get a box, sign like, hey, this is just for you guys. And went to the booth like, what just happened? No. I'm excited for that though. I think Gurkha in general, they've been stepping up their game. I heard they heard what customers were saying, like, you know what, we'll address those issues. We'll make this work.
Mhm.
And they really did, because they were working with some really good people.
Yeah, I mean, we started working with them a few years ago. I've been impressed with their team and the direction they're going.
Mhm.
A lot of stuff. Of course, Juan Lopez, I've known him for years.
He's a crazy guy.
So
Okay,
much fun.
I love him.
So much fun. And when Kaluchi came in, we started having conversations, and
Mhm.
I mean, good people make great things, and they're a good team. And like you said, man, we're excited for the direction they're going in. We're really happy to be working with them and providing some really good time.
I think Archie has a question. What's the biggest challenge for you?
Or the toughest part.
I can't think of the toughest part of running a cigar company.
So for me, it's coming up with something new,
Mhm.
honestly. So we've launched this. We have to babysit this and get it out there.
Mhm.
The Palu, the Harvest of the Midnight, they're still running. But now the show's over. So I have to start thinking about next year
Right.
and what we're going to do that's going to top this, or at least bring something new to market that it's going to be interesting.
Mhm.
Because you can't just keep copying and pasting.
Mhm.
No, it's not a photocopier, man. You just put this down and just keep doing this. To me, that's the hardest part. I think everyone's going to have their own different answer. If you ask around, he would give you a very different answer, of course. But for me, it's what can I produce that's interesting for those guys out there that are smart?
Sure. Yeah.
What's in our line that's missing that we want to make? We all of these cigars, every single one of these blends, some of these, like in the case of the Harvest, that took 3 years to come up with that blend. In the case of Balu, Ram and I've been working on this for 18 months.
Oh wow.
We had everything except for the wrapper.
Ooh.
Everything. We've gone through 10 different versions of this blend,
Mhm.
and if it was set, we couldn't settle on a wrapper. I mean, we did rock, paper, scissors, like
The
slap
most
fighting,
scientific way to do it, shot for shot.
flip a coin.
So many coins
know.
lost. Just because couldn't catch them.
But I mean, that's the hardest part because it's so expensive to come up with something new.
Right.
You push it out, you give it the best shot it possibly can get, and belly flops. That's a bummer, but you don't want to do that because you don't want to give them something that's not great, it's not amazing, and it doesn't tantalize them to be completely bananas. So real work starts kind of like this week.
Mhm.
So on Sunday, I go down to the DR. We're
Mhm.
going to just start cracking plans again. Stuff that we've been working on, stuff that we want to see, and see what happens.
Now, as far as some of the other iterations for the different rappers, has that ever come back into the fold? Like, you know what, this is the best, but we might be able to tweak it again for this one. Is that part of this next week coming up? Like, we got to revisit some of this stuff that was great, but it wasn't as good as what we put out already.
In a way, yes. I mean, we wouldn't take a blend that The only thing different is the wrapper.
Yeah.
With one exception, Cimarron,
Mhm.
because we honestly couldn't figure out whether we should do a Connecticut or a Maduro. I like Connecticut.
Mhm.
For that, so we just did both at the same time. But we were very open and honest about it. It's just, it's exactly the same blend. Try it with the Connecticut, try it with the Maduro, see how different they are. But we wouldn't just take a blend and be like, okay, let's just rewrap it with something different and throw it out there.
Yeah.
Just doesn't seem right, So, but in some ways, what will happen is you can let a blend sit like a recipe card, sits there, and then you revisit it 2 or 3 years, and that tobacco has had a chance to rest.
Right.
Then you take it off the pilons, you take it off the bales, it's been sitting there, put it back on the table, and you smoke it, and you go, that's developed character. That's very interesting. So sometimes that does happen.
That was what I was thinking, that at some point, because the aging definitely helps either mellow or just let things mend together a little bit better. How much mental awareness you guys got to remember, like, okay, which one do we actually go back to? Are there, because not everyone's going to be worth, revisit, but there are some out there you just can't let go. Kind of like when people write, they tell you to step away when you're done and revisit later because you're going to come out with fresh experience, new ideas, and it might be completely different than when you remember. And it's sometimes better.
Yeah, for sure.
And kind of a follow-up to Miguel's question. When you go back to the DR, like you said, you're going to start doing new blends and stuff. Is there a game plan? Like, okay, Buffalo 10 is going to get an extension this coming year, or the Artista core line is going to get an extension this year. So focusing on those tobaccos that you have available to you, you start going for, this one or that series kind of a thing, or are you looking at all the tobacco as a whole and figuring out, okay, well, this tobacco is really good this year, so, Series A is going to get an extension.
That's a little bit how it goes, to be honest with you. So we have a plan that goes out to 2027. And on that plan, we want to have a line extension. But it's got to be good. And that means we have to be able to put time and attention to it.
Right.
So that may be next year. That may be in 2027. We finally have a chance to sit down and say, we know what Buffalo 10 represents. We know what we can do. And the tobacco is much great so that we can get it at the right price to the people, sticker shock. Everything's gone up.
Yeah.
Cost of labor's gone up. Transportation's gone up. We are holding hard to that $5.50 price per stick. That's hard to do. So, to your point, we do have a plan. We have a plan for Artista. That's why we keep building out this line like this. We're going to continue to see those colors and that moniker that goes with it. But my focus when I go down to the DR will be sitting down and saying, okay, what can we do to continue to grow this core line? And then we're going to take a look at Cimarron and Puro Ambar. What can we do to make those part of that Artista line? Because they kind of sit out here on the edges.
Right.
Bit,
Yeah.
And if we're going to repackage them, let's reblend it. Let's do something.
Nothing wrong with that idea. I like that a lot. Especially, because I like the designs. But like you said, these have gotten their new look. And it's so uniform and it stands out. Especially on a shelf. Because you always have to think about, they need shelf space.
They do.
They're running out. There's a lot of good cigars out there.
So much good stuff out there. It's incredible.
And the fact you guys went with something that's not, I love the traditional artwork and stuff. Don't get me wrong. Like, La Galera goes with that a lot. Obviously, Puente and whatnot. But the colors are pretty unique, or not unique, to me, uniform as far as, the dark tones. Well, you have the white right off the bat. Every top that you guys see right there, it's clean. That A represents something. And it shows that uniform and that united front. That makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like the simplicity of the logo myself.
Yeah,
Like your
19
1920 and stuff, everything's so intricate and detailed. It's like, you gotta really look at. I love this take on it. This look on it. I'm a big fan.
We rebranded in 2020. We took time out in the off season essentially during COVID. And I asked Ram, what do you want to do? We've been talking about rebranding this thing for a long time. And he said 2 words: simple sophistication. So I stood up. He said, sit down, put your pants back on.
That'd be a whole different box. I'm not getting a tattoo of that. You know that, right?
Maybe we can
Well,
work that out. I never know.
There's I don't I don't know.
But honestly, that's what it was. Just simple sophistication. Something that's classic that in 15 years will be just as good as it is today. And I didn't really want anything that's stodgy, overly complicated. You know, it looks really good on the shelf. Like you said, it stands out. I learned that with Psycho 7. I made Psycho 7. Put it in a humidor with a bunch of brown and black. And it
Wow.
That's what retailers love about it. The box will sell one cigar. A very good cigar will sell the rest of the box.
Yep.
That's what I like that.
Makes sense. It really does. And I remember the Psycho 7 being in Ventura at the Castle? Smoker's Castle.
Smoker's Castle.
And-
Bob.
Not a huge, obviously not a huge humidor,
No,
but it was well stocked. Cool guy.
dude. One of the best.
Yeah. And that, like you said, that one stuck out. And I think that was the first time I had the Psycho 7 was in that lounge.
I've only met him once or twice. It seems like every time we're back down to Ventura, he's closed. So you might know him better than we do.
Yeah.
Is it just like a hangout for him and his friends? Because that's what it seems like.
So when you bought Psycho 7, it was a couple of years ago, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Bob used to own it. He owned it for 40 years.
Mhm.
He sold it to a group of guys that own it now. And if you ever
Okay.
get a chance to go down there in Ventura, go down to Smoker's Castle for
Yeah.
sure. But that group of guys, they're all working guys, you know, so they can only open up the shop at a certain time. So it's open, I
Okay.
believe, from 5 to 9.
Yeah.
You know, something
Really
like
short
that,
hours,
just
yeah.
super short hours. And it is kind of a hang. There's a few real good guys in there.
Yeah, we went a few years ago. We went down and it was during March Madness.
Yeah.
And they said they're going to be open until the last game was over. And I didn't know it was a potluck. But yeah, the guys are awesome. It's a welcome. And not a huge humidor, but well stocked. Great atmosphere. And yeah.
It's the last lounge in Ventura. We've got 100,000 people, and that's their only option.
I'm super no, not that I'm disappointed that they're there because they're awesome, but I wish there was more as well. Like it's, you can only do so much by yourself. Being in a lone lounge.
Yeah, I mean, but they're holding it down. That's the thing. These guys, despite all of the efforts from everybody, from the county to the state to shut it down, these guys are holding it together.
We tried twice to open the lounge back in Ventura. First one was 50 feet too close to the
mission.
which was too bad. It was a beautiful spot.
It was so sad. I've never been so sad to be close to the mission before.
Yeah, right on Main Street.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's close to the school. Right. The second one was the Harbor.
Okay.
It used to be a restaurant. And I forget the name of the restaurant, but it had the glass and closing the entire outdoor patio. And I was telling you, it was full. So I called them up, and at first the lady was, oh, yeah, it's full. Let me make sure the boss is okay. Get a call. Apparently, the second floor was nothing but kid doctor and gynecologist.
Yeah. There was a maternity doctor. I'm not sure, but it's like that's probably not the best for them business-wise to have a cigar lounge, you know, right under them. Fair. They were there first. Not gonna customers think. I still say we should have think about the other spot downtown. 50 feet. We should have went to the city.
Yeah.
And just bug somebody until they said yes.
Yeah. I mean, running a cigar shop in any state is going to be tough. In the state of California, it's hard, you know, especially a beach community. It's tough. It's tough because you're not just selling cigars to the folks that are out there. You have to deal with the guys next door to you and the people walking by that don't understand it. But yeah, I mean, Smoker's Castle they're doing it. They do it every day, all day. Well, from 5 to 9. I wish they were open, man. I took a guy over there one time. I didn't realize they were only open from 5 to 9. I took a guy over there, came into town. He's from Missouri. Like, let's go smoke. He's great. Show up at 2 o'clock. We're going to go to Corrales. We're going to get some burritos. All right. We're going to go down to the pier, hang out, you know, look like we're a couple. And then we'll head over to Smoker's Castle around 5.
Hey, that is a wonderful mandate right there. That's fine. There's good food around that area. There's good people hanging out.
Film from Saturday football practice, get burritos, practice.
Shit. Go surfing. come back off the beach, go get a breakfast burrito. Dude,
Yeah,
that's the best,
I'm more boogie boarder. You really get
dude.
I don't think there's a lot of balance in our family. Too clumsy. I could lay down on the board all day long. I'll boogie board, yeah.
Fall off the board when you fall in the water, man. It's not like it's gonna hurt.
Yeah,
Well, I
but
mean,
there's
it
sharks
hurts a
in-
little bit.
Not in that water in particular. I don't think we've seen a shark in Ventura water in a while.
I haven't seen a shark.
Yeah. I remember
Dolphins. Yeah, dolphins, sea lions.
I remember growing up though, and like someone having a picture in the news. It might have been a shark. That's about as close as you ever have to worry about it.
You get down close to like Malibu, you get makos.
Yeah.
You know, like you get some sharks. But Ventura, we're too lazy to have sharks.
Oh,
Jellyfish, baby. dude.
lazy water. Damn it.
Gotta ask you a question.
Yes.
You ever go to the Guardian Run?
I have. Yeah.
I remember those. My grandpa used to take it.
Yup.
Miss those days. Those were awesome.
Runyon runs and then like the phosphorescent ocean when you get a little bit algae bloom.
Yep.
Go out there and kick the water and it turns blue.
Yep.
Yeah, that's cool.
I think people forget how awesome Ventura is. I know its prices are going up a little bit, and it's definitely changed from when I was a kid. But I think it's a lot of it's changing for better too. Is downtown still got the
Grandkids.
yeah where you can walk? They don't allow cars on there, right?
Yeah, they still have that. Ventura's a terrible place. Please don't come. It's garbage. Nobody wants to live there. People are actually leaving in droves. During COVID, I mean, everybody shut up. It was like they realized that Ventura and Oxnard were the last affordable coastal zones in Southern California. And housing prices went like double. I mean, it's fine, but man, it's tough.
I remember when I left, a lot of people from Santa Barbara were coming down, a lot of people from LA were coming up.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we got a lot of the San Fernando Valley crowd. I lived in, see, I grew up in Ventura, and then I spent 16 years hard time in Oxnard. And I mean, I loved Oxnard. It was awesome. I'd move back in heartbeat. Like, those people know how to like build. You know, honestly, they're like, "You want a Costco? Cool, let's do it." And they just plow under. Well, whatever was there, it's gone. Now it's a Costco. You know, like, oh, Costco wants to throw on some gas. Boom. Sorry, you're out. Costco's here now with gas. Ventura, you already experienced it. Well, we got to go through planning. We got to get this guy, and this guy's 90 years old, and he knows all the planning situations. And we got to do an economic review and an impact study. And, you know, there's some liberals down the street that might have a problem with this. So we're going to talk to them and get their vote on it, too. Now, dude, Oxnard, like, you want corporate headquarters? Wham. It's like Sim City in Oxnard. They just do the zoning, drop some streets, and then all of a sudden, you got houses, you got an Amazon warehouse. Have you been out there lately?
I've been to Amazon warehouse. I remember when they did that.
It's like a mile long, man.
I remember when they knocked on the Esplanade. Started building all the
Oh, the outlets.
Outlets
Yeah.
out there.
Oh my gosh.
name of it. Yeah, that one. Good quick. I was surprised.
Yeah, visit the family one day. They're just demolishing. Next time we visit, there's really nice buildings and
Yeah.
cool stores. Like, all right,
We got that thing called the collection out there. That's
That's
kinda
it,
cool.
the collection.
Yeah, yeah, that's cool, and that keeps growing, man. It's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
It doesn't have a cigar shop though.
No, it does not.
I'm looking at you. Boy.
that would be wonderful. That's a great idea because they have the one. Oh my gosh, between here and Ventura, the what is that?
Genuine.
Genuine.
Mhm.
Genuine's awesome.
Blended.
Love that spot. And it's
Incredible.
next to the food. You
Yep.
know, seems like there's plenty of parking because there's it's built for that.
Right.
It's a great spot.
I think the artist might have a comment about that off topic.
Let me bring that up. Here we go. By visiting lounges around the other states, other counties trying to shut them down, seems like certain states aren't allowing cigar lounges to open up.
Yeah, I mean that does happen. There are some states that I've been to. I think Illinois is one of them, where you can't have a cigar lounge. A new one. I mean, don't quote me on this, but you can't have a cigar lounge in a strip mall. Yes, it has to be a standalone thing. Some counties do that too. Municipalities, they'll just focus on if you want to build something new like this, it's got to be its own thing on its own pad. So, I mean, it provides opportunities, but it's tough if you're a startup and you want to do something next to a nail salon or something.
Yeah, that makes. But at the same time, it seems counterproductive in my head to do those rules against cigar lounge in particular. Not so much the smoke shop; those are everywhere. And good for them. That's fine. You make money, open them up. What you got to do. But when you're talking cigar lounges, and I don't want to be uppity about this, but it is, and a lot of areas are trying to gentrify a little bit, make it nicer. You would assume that the clientele going to a cigar lounge would be the kind of customer you want going to your businesses.
Right.
So, and I think it was Garoppolo talking about, like, when he was talking about, if I open up another one, I would just look for a McDonald's and a Starbucks. If they're there, they already did the research. They know people are driving in and out of that area. The foot traffic's already built in. Well, I'm pretty sure the guy buying the cigar can also afford a Big Mac, afterwards, or order a drink or something. So, cigar lounge, maybe not right next to it, but I would a nice restaurant, barbershop, all that goes together in my head.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
It'd make me sad to no, you got to be on your own, further away from everybody.
I think cigars are more one here now. Other people, they have their shop, and a lot of the time you go in there with husbands running their nail salon. Well, ladies will get their nails done, husband come in, have cigars to when they're going on. They've got a nice new restaurant there that's no computers, there's a barbecue spot and the
Brewing.
barbershop and the brewery, so they have the right idea where they're at right now.
Yeah, I mean, the shame is we get lumped into other tobacco products that are maybe not as friendly as this. And a lot of folks don't understand this isn't a habit, it's a hobby. And I mean, you get it, I get it, your audience out there, I'm sure they get it. But the folks that are stamping the plans and approving the permits, they don't understand that. They see the word tobacco and they just say no. Boulder, I think Boulder, Colorado, you can't smoke anywhere unless it's weed. Calabasas, here in California, you can't smoke. I think Beverly Hills was doing something like that as well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, V-Cut. I don't know if you've ever been to V-Cut, that cigar lounge down there. That's cool, man. But they have certain restrictions and stuff that it's hard on. So, I mean, the guy asked a question, and that's what's happened. That's what I've seen. It's a shame because we are a different thing. It's a totally different category to me.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You want to put up a question?
Can I move the mic a little closer to you? It's not let me get a little bit of this in there real quick. Oh, there we go. Thank you, Jeremy. Sorry about that.
Thanks, Jeremy.
The world will be all right. But if he does have a chance, always love to see him. Apologize. Where were we? Wanted to correct
We're
them.
just wrapping up on the question, which is a very good question.
Yes, to the lounges, yes. Having said that, though, I know, again, very busy for PCA, but at night, did you get a chance to check out any of the new guys? Because it was my first time getting to check out Triple Crown and Smoke. No, we didn't get a chance to get a Smoke. No, it was Triple Crown and, oh my gosh. No, we didn't get to go to the new Monte Cristo either in Paris. There's like 4 new lounges that we've been told how incredible they are, and so far I'm not disappointed. Is there any ones?
Really cool, and then I highly do not recommend Legacy Club to anyone.
Oh, Legacy's the other, yeah.
Ever go there again?
Go ahead, tell them why, Frankie.
It's 50 stories up, but it's all glass. No,
Whoa.
thank you.
So it's not the service, it's the location.
No. Yeah, I'll go back to this story. We went to the Circa right when it opened. With the owner of cigars, we want to talk to them about opening a cigar lounge. They told us they had no plans to open up anything with cigars. Okay, that's fine. No big deal. Now they open up Legacy Club, but we wanted it to have a pool. And they're like, okay, well, we're going to take the escalator up. That escalator's like that. I don't do heights. I look back down. I had to sit down. I was not doing well. I was like,
You sat on the escalator.
Yep.
He sat on the escalator.
Nope, don't do heights.
I was the first one on it, and I'm like maybe 20 steps ahead of him, and I turn around to look, damn, this thing's tall. And I look, he's sitting on him like,
I'm sorry, man. I don't even laugh.
Bro, it's
That's
fine.
hilarious.
It was hilarious.
We get to the 60th floor. We get out. First thing you look, see their patio that's outside of all the glass. Just overlooking the strip side of Vegas. Nope, not looking that way. Look left, you see the northern part of the city. Nope. So I just stared at the bar the entire time. Kept my head down. Had half a cigar and one drink. And I was like, I can't do it.
I was walking around. It's a beautiful view. You see the entire city. You see everything that's outside of Vegas.
Yeah.
It is spectacular. When at night, all the lights are going. You see everything. You see the dome, the new one they built, whatever it's called. This dome, yeah.
The sphere.
The sphere.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, sorry. The dome was in town. It's gone now. All of Fremont lit up. It looks great. It's a great view. Patio. How windy it is, though. I went out for a second just to kind of get my bearings. Couldn't do that. That was.
It's a tough one, for sure.
But it's once it's not windy, it's going to be an amazing spot out there. But inside, I thought was incredible. I'd recommend Legacy all the time. It's a great spot. I would say it's the 8 Lounge of Fremont. I think they're both as fancy as you could hope for, and did not feel stuffy. I did not feel like I didn't belong. Guys were making great drinks. They had to build your own.
Drinks were reasonably priced for Vegas. I was surprised.
Yeah, it was everything about it I enjoyed. This guy was just like,
Yeah, I understand. To answer your question, we went over to 8. I hadn't been there yet. We've been in town a couple times, just never made it over there.
for sure.
So 8 was incredible. What a great lounge. Service was incredible. The people were fantastic.
It's a little darker inside though.
But I dig it, man.
Yeah.
I totally dig it.
I like the outside.
Yeah, that patio was cool.
And I think the first time we went there, it was a little chilly. I was like, how does everybody have the same fucking blanket? It's so weird. I guess they have them behind the counter or something. Hand them out.
You just ask and you get a blanket.
Oh, and everybody just like blanket night or something. I like the amount. I really do like it.
And it's tough for me. I mean, I've done PCA 13 years now, and it's work. You've seen it.
Yeah.
It's work. So we get there early. We stay late. I've got a whole team of people. In the early days, when I would go 2013, 2014, I show up, stand around, talk to people, hang out. Not a problem. I'm only responsible for myself, and I'm very irresponsible. So it's perfect.
Nice.
And then I'd go out and party all night, and then come into the booth a little hungover, grab some coffee, grab a cigar. I'm good to go.
Yeah.
But now we've got a team of 10 folks. We've got media. We've got big guys coming in. So I have to be a little bit more responsible.
Damn it.
So it's a little bit different. And I don't get a chance to break away because everybody wants to go do something.
Right.
So, my team comes from the Dominican Republic, and they don't really know Vegas all that well. So it's like, okay, well, we'll take you. We took them to the Pepper Mill one night. We went to Los Arcos for Birria Tacos, which was awesome. We walk in there, they speak the Spanish to these folks, and they're so happy. They're like, we're at home. And then, they see the sugar skulls, they see the eagle on the Mexican flag, and they're like, this isn't home, but it feels like home.
Close enough, yeah.
I'm like, just get some tacos and hang out, man. You grab a horchata, it's delicious.
That's a good way to celebrate right there.
Yeah.
Archie's got one. Let me bring them up real quick. Kevin, with inflation going on, has it slowed down the cigar industry, or are people still smoking away?
That's a fantastic question. People's smoking habits do change. So, maybe they're not grabbing that $20 or $30 cigar over and over again. Maybe they're going to grab a few of that, like Buffalo 10 or that Artista product. But frankly speaking, inflation's going on everywhere, and people are feeling stressed about it. And this is one of the best stress relievers right here.
I agree.
Honestly. And getting into that lounge environment is a fantastic way. Even if you're spending $30, it's worth the price because you're going to hang out with guys you like, guys catch up, watch the game, whatever.
Yeah.
You spend 2.5 hours. Where are you going to get 2.5 hours for, a couple bucks? You just don't get that.
Right.
So what we're seeing in the cigar industry is no one's really slowing down. They're just changing their buying habits.
Makes perfect sense. And like you said, I think that's a great way to put it too. Where are you going to get that kind of experience on any night you want to pick? You can go down the lounge. Something's probably happening. People that you like to talk to. And from experience, I think I'm in as many lounges. I've not been to 1,000 yet. I'm getting there. But across the board, there's always someone interesting, someone friendly, or even just the tobacconist who wants to hang out for a moment if they have a break from working, because they are working. But it's still that experience of hanging out in a place where you feel familiar, even if you've never met anyone there. It feels like a home away from home.
It really is. I mean, I do a lot of traveling, and pretty much every city I'm in, there's a cigar shop. And if I'm feeling, because I travel alone for the most part, I'm feeling down, whatever, just want to go hang out with some folks. I know I can find those guys over at the cigar shop. Exactly right.
Love that.
I got stranded in a European city last year, and my flight got canceled. You know, I was tired, road weary. I'd been on the road for 2 weeks. And I'm walking around and I smell premium tobacco.
Aha.
So I just followed my nose like toucan. Damn, dog. I'm like, where's this? And I see every once in a while I see a guy smoking a cigar, and I'm like, okay, give him this direction, and I stumble across. It's a cigar shop. And I walked in and I said, hey, my name's Kevin. You don't know me. I don't know you. I've never even really been to this country before. But I'm in the industry. Can I have a place to sit? And the dude brought me out some rum. He brought me out a cigar. Goes, it's on the house. Hang out. Who do you work for? And then he knew some of the people I knew. And then all of a sudden, a guy walks in that I'd met like 4 days earlier. And then we start talking. It's just that situation. I mean, it is. It's kind of like this coming together of guys, like-minded individuals. And it doesn't really matter what country you're in, what color you're wearing. You're going to be welcome.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's part of the reason I love being able to do what we do to the people. You know, the cigars are great, but the people are even better.
Mm-hmm.
It's a wonderful it's a wonderful reassurance that is something that's going not just from, you know, state to state from where I've been, but nation to nation. That's some I got to do more traveling outside the states, I think, because I want that experience too. Just maybe you don't even speak the same language, but you just point, I like those cigars.
Yeah.
They do too. Okay, let's do this.
Exactly.
Wonderful.
Right.
Man.
So speaking of being out of the U.S., are you guys going into that?
Yeah, we go every year.
Okay.
It's awesome.
I've never been, so how is that compared to PTA?
I mean, it's hard to compare the two because they're two very different shows. Intertobacco is huge. It encompasses the entire smoking industry. There's a little bit of cigarettes there, but it's mostly premium cigars, hookah, a lot of vapor product, and then accessories like you wouldn't believe. And it draws from all over Europe, Asia, parts of Africa. It's really incredible, but it is much larger on a grander scale just because it encompasses so much more. It's a little bit like TPE, but on steroids. You know, those kind of real hot ones they give to racehorses, like that kind of steroid.
Nice.
But it's cool. And the brands that are there, they really do it right. They put on the show. I mean, huge booths, some of them 2-story. It's incredible. Yeah.
That's in Germany, right?
It's in Germany. Yeah, it's in Dortmund, usually in the fall.
Okay.
Yeah. And sometimes, because of where it's at, the convention center, the Westfalenhallen Convention Center is right next door to the football pitch.
Oh.
And sometimes those two things line up. You can go from the trade show to a soccer match.
Oh.
And Dortmund, those guys are like the Raider fans.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Dude, they're unhinged. It's awesome. So if you go, make sure you put on the right colors.
Right.
That makes sense.
You want to look like a little bee because it's like yellow and black.
What do you call it? Yeah, I know enough to wear, you know, black and silver when you're around the Raiders fans.
For sure.
You know, as much as I love my Buccaneers, I'm not gonna fight over them. That's not happening.
Yeah. Sorry to hear that you're Buccaneers fan.
I'm not. I love it. I don't care how bad we did for so long. We're okay right now, and I'm okay with that. Like, it was like 10 years, 12 maybe, of being god awful, and then we had 3 really great years of being great or at least decent. I'm fine with that. We can be terrible for another 20 years now. That's fine.
You're good.
I'm good. Yeah.
You've lived that fandom lifestyle.
Just enough. Yeah, just enough where we had the good moments, and now, all right, go back to. Ah, shit, we lost again. Ah, shit, we lost again.
Super Bowl every 20 years, right?
Maybe every 10 would be nice.
Well, 20 years since you guys won the last one, or since the one Brady won and the one they won in 2000.
It was 2000, yeah. So yeah, it was 20 years. Yeah, you're right. So maybe we could get that down to about 18. There we go. There's the goal. What do you call it? And I'm not alone in this. We all know that the cigar industry of the U.S. is largely Buccaneers fans because everyone's over there. They're in Tampa. They're in the area. So I was born to do this. I was been a Buccaneers fan for as long as I like football. So it's okay. It was all signs that we can be.
How much did it hurt leaving Cigar Heritage Festival?
As
as they were playing
Mm.
at Raymond James Stadium.
Mm.
You could see it
From the
from the
plane.
plane,
Mhm.
but you weren't there.
I was crying on the inside because I think we had work or something the next day. Like,
Yeah.
we're gonna get another night, just anywhere, the cheapest hotel you can find. Just get us somewhere where we can sleep for one more night so I can go to the game. Just can't do it. We've got to be back.
They have responsibilities.
Stupid. I don't even know how I do those. Oh, that hurt my head. I didn't want to leave Tampa, honestly, at all. I wanted to stay in Ybor. I was looking for,
It's such a great town, dude.
like, I found a bench. I didn't see any homeless on this particular bench, so I'm gonna take that one for tonight.
I
And
mean,
if it's-
imagine being a homeless guy in Ybor City. That's a good life,
I mean, it's
right? Nice climate most of the time. Cigar butts laying everywhere.
Mhm.
not
You know,
fun people all the time. Like, it seemed
All
like
the
there was a party when we got there on like a Wednesday, I think it was, and there were already just people having fun all night long.
mm-hmm.
Incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man. Well, first let's go to do you see? Oh, okay, yeah. Here goes this question. For the lounges that you go to, do you see a younger, middle-aged, or older gentleman in your crowd?
It's a very good question. Cigar lounges change throughout the day. You know, we talked about Smoker's Castle. They're only open from 5 to 9, and that's a little bit of a shame, but I understand why.
Right.
You go into a cigar lounge that opens up at 11, and you'll see the crowd shift over time. And I had this experience for the first time years ago. I was in, I think it was Smoke Inn, and I watched the crowd showed up. We got there around like maybe 1 in the afternoon. We were gonna just post up till they closed.
Heck yeah.
We were handing out cigars, hanging out, talking with the owners, you know, the whole deal. And that like 1 p.m. crowd was your older gentlemen, your retirees,
Right.
your guys are just looking for a place while their wives getting their hair done and their nails done, whatever. And then around 3 o'clock, your shift guys came in, your blue collar guys, the guys that get up early. You know, they're on job at 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning. They come in, they're gonna grab their stick, they're gonna sit down, kind of like kick their boots up for a minute before they have to get back to the house. And then around like 6, the younger crowd started coming through, and then around 8:30, 9 o'clock, that younger crowd brought a loud crowd. Yeah.
Okay.
The Jamaican rum came out. Some guy had some Barbados, like Everclear, dude.
Jeez.
It gets crazy. So the cigar shop environment, in my experience, evolves as the clock moves.
Very true.
There are a lot. There is younger guys out there,
Okay.
you know, that are coming in.
Yeah.
And it's a shame because unfortunately these younger guys don't necessarily feel welcome in cigar lounges. Maybe feel a little intimidated. Maybe you're not too many years into the industry. You don't know all the language. You shouldn't feel intimidated. If you're young or young in the cigar industry, not young necessarily, like we're not looking for young people, but
No.
you know, young in the cigar industry, maybe you're 29, 30, you're looking for your first stick, you're looking for something new. Yeah, come into the lounge
Yes.
because that's a great place. And just be honest. I wasn't honest. My first cigar was at 22, 21, 22 in that area. And I walked in there. I'm like, give me the strongest, baddest thing you have.
Oh no.
You know, I walked out of there with a single cigar. I was like $5 to $6 lighter in the pocket. I thought I was a man. I go over and I start washing my truck, smoking a cigar, washing my truck. I had to sit down, much like you on the escalator. I'm like, I can't do this.
Oh no.
I can't do. I'm all spinning. And it wasn't an easy experience, but I went back in and I said, okay, what do you have that's not quite so strong? And the guy laughed, big old belly laugh. He goes, yeah, all right. You don't know much about this stuff, huh? I said, no, I don't. He said, okay, let me walk you through it.
I think
That's
that.
great when there's people like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been in the lounge where I asked somebody, "Oh, do you have this in another size?" What we have is what we have. So,
Oh, all
okay,
right.
cool. Thanks. That's what I put. And again, you know, go to lounges like it was Ford on Fifth and it was Scallywag
I think
in
it's.
Arizona. I don't know where it is now. Phoenix.
It might still be Scallywags right now.
Yeah, but good. They took the time to walk through the whole humidor.
Great people,
Yeah.
Scallywag, man. Oh
Yeah.
my God.
So it reminded me a lot of when we first started going to cigars from here in town. Same thing, you know. We were buying cigars, we didn't know about them. What do you guys want? Oh, we want to start a podcast. Okay, well, here, try this, and that. Come back, let us know. Get back. We like this, we like that. We didn't like this. Okay, here, try this and that.
Mhm.
Fantastic service.
Oh heck yeah. But that first experience, I think a lot of guys have that where it's just like, yeah, give me fanciest thing you've got. Give me the first cigar I ever bought was in Vegas at a Davidoff. It wasn't the Davidoff Lounge, but it was
Yeah.
it was the kiosk in
Sound shops.
yeah, and really beautiful Russian lady was selling them. The amazing accent. So I'm pretty sure I paid double whatever it was worth, but I would do it again now even because she was that pretty, and I have no problem with. I love that. That first experience buying a cigar
Right.
was super memorable, and I hope that everyone's got that that moment of like, yeah, I know why I did this because it made me feel good that first time, and then hopefully that carries on to the next one and the next one. Maybe not a pretty Russian girl every time because that's just asking for a lot.
Yeah, I didn't get a pretty Russian girl. I got a big dude named John, but he ended up turning me on to some Oyo de Monterrey's, the number 2s.
There we go.
The Claro. Brother, so good. And I ended up buying, I don't know, 10 or 20 boxes over the course of 10 years
Nice.
from this guy. Because I just love that cigar so much. In fact, 2 years ago, I still had 3 of those cigars left.
Oh, wow.
And I've got 2 friends from high school. One I've known since, man, he was like 14, and the other one since he was 16. And we had a little bit of a thing happen in the family, and we needed to sit down and have a conversation about it. Nothing between us, but it was kind of a crater moment for one of us.
Yeah.
And I pulled those sticks out, and they're 20 years old. I mean, they smoked like the New York Times because, it's a very light cigar.
Yeah.
But that's not the point. The point was that was one of the first cigars we ever smoked together.
Right.
Heck yeah.
Because I had to buy the box. And man, to your point, that memory is incredible.
Yeah.
And this is so unique. That experience is so unique. I mean, it ranks up there for me like my first car, my first divorce, that type of stuff. Like things you're never gonna forget.
Oh yeah. I'm waiting for like the second or third one before what do you call it? Now, so if there's any future exes out there, got your back still, all right? Hopefully. Well, damn it. What was I gonna say? Oh my god. Damn it. I had something for that too, because that's an experience. Like maybe you weren't saving them for that moment, but it was the proper moment for that.
Right.
But those experiences of thinking like this is the cigar for this occasion. Like you just did that with your diademus for your birthday, your 40th, and you had that box for what, 5 years?
Yeah.
Yeah, basically when Viva La Vida started doing their thing and they came out that size, you got that and saved it for that special moment. I know our buddy Mitch bought a box of, was that with Bradley?
No, he wanted that, but
Oh,
didn't have it.
they didn't have that one.
Roman Julieta.
Yes.
And he had just enough. They smokes one every year, and by the time he has the last 2, the son will be 21.
Sounds cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is for those everyday moments, like I can enjoy this every day, but then you have the same experience, but even more amplified because it is that time in your life, it's that moment of, celebration or your first cigar with your son, which is going to be awesome. I can't wait for that for him. Or you just know that, hey, this is someone I've known for so long. This is what we're going to do today. And you don't forget those moments.
No, you really don't.
And,
And this is a facilitator for that, for those relationships, for those experiences, it's awesome.
Oh, 100%. I was on Fremont. It was on Fremont. And I was at Chicago Brewing. I love those guys. And I was sitting there by myself, just having a cigar and talking to a older guy and a younger guy, getting the conversation. It's his 21st birthday. And that's like, he's out in college. So him and his dad are celebrating. Like, oh, well, there's 2 cigars. It was their first cigar.
No way.
Their first cigar together. And I got to be a part of this. I claim this moment. This is my doing. Heck yeah. I don't even care because I could not tell you what cigars we were smoking that day. I could not. And I'm a little sad about that because I would love to remember and do it again. But I remember them.
Mm-hmm.
Not going to forget the people. And that's the moment wouldn't have been the same if I bought them a shot, which is fun. Love whiskey, don't get me wrong. But I think cigars stamp those a little bit better than the rest. Just a little bit.
And frankly speaking, they're going to remember that moment for a long time too.
I hope so.
I mean, they're going to talk about the first time they ever had a cigar together. Some stranger came over and hooked them up.
Yeah, some weird Mexican guy. Like,
No.
who's this guy? But hopefully
You
he's
said it, not me.
well, it's not wrong though either. Like, learned that very quickly. The only thing, okay, I'm gonna say it on camera. 'Cause I haven't said it yet
Okay.
on the show, and I've only told Enrique over at Matilda. I'll make this promise. By the time you see me in New Orleans
Mhm.
in April, I will be knowing Spanish. That will be Spanish spoken by this gentleman. Finally, I've made that. He's going to hold me to that. He said he's
No
only going to
hablas
speak.
español.
No.
¿Por qué no?
Okay. Well, you got to go to Mexico with the family, and he or our grandpa had a house out there for a while. You came back only speaking Spanish as a kid. Pissed my mom off some fierce because her Spanish isn't great. So I was not allowed to partake in that. So growing up, I only spoke English. There's only English in the house. Grandpa spoke English to me. Grandma still tried to speak Spanish. God love her. God rest her. She did her best. But I didn't take to it. I just did not learn. And now James from Cine, anytime he introduced me to anyone new, oh, these are the Rodriguez boys. They don't speak Spanish. Like, dude, they're gonna learn. Like, you give them some time to figure out our mistakes. But
White on the inside and chocolate on the outside.
hey, it's a good chocolate still. It's getting darker too. The sun's helping. I'm not just burning anymore. All right, I'm still burning.
My buddy, one of those guys I was telling you about, we smoked those Oyas. It's the same situation with him. Dan Guerra, and he calls himself the redneck Mexican
Nah,
because he does not speak any Spanish. He chooses not to. That's his whole thing.
We have heard that term before. What was it?
we got okay. I don't know if we could say that on camera.
What was the term that they said?
All right, our buddies, another set of fellow Rodriguez's, which is why I think gravitated towards Ram so easily.
Mm-hmm.
Fred Rodriguez out in Texas calls us wet necks. Like, you guys fit in perfect here. I'm like,
That's
kind of
fantastic,
do.
man.
I love it. Was a badge of honor right there because I figured that's kind of fits the personality, I think, to a T. I'm fine
Mhm.
with that.
Mhm.
You know, I don't even know how we got on that conversation, how that turned out. But that's another reason I love Texas.
Oh, dude, I love Texas.
Yeah.
My cigar's out. I brought some special factory blends.
Oh shoot!
Looks like yours is out as well.
I am out right now.
Want to try those?
Yes.
We can't sell them. We're not. No one's buying, but you guys can try.
Can we try on? Is it okay we try on camera, Jay?
Heck
Oh,
yeah, man. That's why
okay.
I brought them. They're right over here.
Oh, thank you, Jeremy. By the
Nope.
way,
It's
the
a small bag right over there with a little. Yes,
Oh,
those are the ones. Thank you, sir.
By the way-
Feel free to grab one of those.
this is the gentleman we're telling you about. By the way,
This
this
is
is
Jeremy?
Jeremy right here. Yeah, glad he's here.
All right.
Hands are freezing.
So these are 8 years aged now.
Only?
Yeah, right.
Gosh.
You have my cutter?
Oh, I got you. I got a cutter right here. Oh, you want to be fancy? Sorry, no, my bad.
No. I just want to shout out. I hope you guys aren't pissed about this, but
Please.
Oh, yeah, I'm pissed.
you never know, man. Some guys get crazy. So my buddy Barger, he hates it when I call him Barger. He's like, it's hamburger, okay? So that way you can remember, stupid. And I said, all right, I get it. But Barger, his buddy makes these cutters, man, and they're cool. This guy's from Tennessee,
Oh,
and it is a slick little thing. He asked me what point I wanted on it, and since I'm from Ventura, and I love Lynn Thompson and the guys over there at Cold Steel,
oh yeah.
I said, give me that Tonto point. So he cut this himself.
I used to work at Battlefield Adventures.
Oh, I love Battlefield
Oh, man.
Adventures, dude.
Yep.
I used to get my paintball gear from there,
Yep.
man.
We got to get you and Restay, and well, I don't know if you got it anymore. I don't think you can play paintball anymore. You got too slow on me.
I do this.
But we got to go play paintball then.
That's all you can do.
That's it. That's the end of So,
You're making her real happy then.
There's a paintball field in town, like literally on one of the main streets here in town.
Yeah.
And we went for my little brother's birthday. And they're all 12 and 15 years old,
yep.
running up and down the field. I ran once and I was out of breath. Nope, I'm done. You good for the rest of the day.
I got a center 51 time, and they could play the rest of the day. I was done. Let me show that off a little closer to you guys. That is insanely nice.
I'm gonna hit the head real
Is that
quick.
Tennessee?
Tennessee.
Tennessee. Let me close
Yeah.
this up for you real quick. But honestly,
he just makes it as a hobby. I mean,
does he sell them though? Like, or
yeah,
is
he
it just
probably
like?
I think he does. I mean, I bought this from him, but you know, I mean, it's not like it's a big business.
No,
or nothing,
no, I get
you
it.
know?
But
It's just, I think he does it as a hobby craft.
what do you call it? Send me the link though, so we can.
Oh, yeah,
if,
for
if
sure.
he's got extras for other people out there, because
Heck yeah.
that's beautiful. I know a few guys who are gonna want. I'll get a hold of them if he's up for it. Not like he's got to make them for him, but
Brought you a gift.
It's for me, huh?
Yeah.
Well, thank you. I
You have one
appreciate
of those yet?
it. Let's take a look. I do not.
So that is a twisted cigar.
That is incredible.
we met the gentleman. We told you, right? We met him in
Yeah.
Florida. Yeah,
He's a good old bloke.
such a cool guy.
And it's the perfect colors. Right. It's Packers colors.
Oh, well, you know.
That's a very nice gift, man. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Also got some cigars with it. Talk about that.
All right.
That
All right.
you will not find a more generous smoker than the gentleman sitting to you right now.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Irishman.
Yes.
Yeah, when we go, we come in packs. That's how we are.
well, again, I don't know how PC this is to say. I'm gonna like after I say this real quick.
There's no
Um,
PC here, man. Is there?
I want to make sure before I
Okay,
just
'cause
to
I'm
warn everyone
juggling
out there.
on
Yeah.
PC.
Oh, here, I'll
I know
check
I've
that
been.
one.
This is that one.
Oh, no, that's working. Yeah.
But this one's gonna be better.
No worries, no worries.
This one's gonna be way
But I've always thought, Mexican and Irish were basically the same people.
Bro, I had
No.
that argument with a guy in an Uber in Chicago.
It's two peas in a pod. It's large families that love to drink
Catholics
and Catholic.
hard drinking, hard working,
Yeah.
immigrants.
You don't
Brother.
find much difference
Yeah.
and more awesome people. And two of like the most gorgeous ladies on the planet come from Ireland or Mexico.
Come on now.
It's just is what it is.
And the best combination of that, except for the women part, is Louis C.K., man.
Ah,
Look at
yeah.
that guy. Yes, brilliant, hilarious, hardworking, calls out the bullshit.
It's true.
And half Mexican and half Irish.
Had no idea.
You had no idea?
Up until like I think less than a year ago.
Mm.
I was like, oh, he's funny. Never thought much more of it. I'm like, what? You call it. Let's do this.
So these have been aged. If you want to grab them, pretty. These have been aged 8 years in our humidor. Somebody came to us and said, "I want to make some cigars. This little box press Lancero." We said, "Sure, not a problem." And he never came back. From
What?
Oh no.
Never came back. He paid.
That's it.
And he
That's
just-
his loss,
he
right?
just
Yeah.
like
So they've been sitting there, and we've changed our aging room twice since these cigars have been sitting there. And I watched this box. You know, when you like move, you move this box, this Apple box, 3 or 4 times when you change apartments. You're like, what the heck is inside of it? So I'm looking at this thing. Not that I'm moving the boxes or anything, but I'm looking at this thing, and I've noticed this tracking number move from place to place to place. So I said,
Okay.
"Hey, man, like, what's up with that?" And our guy Alfonso, our operations manager, is like, "Have a couple." It's like the first time I heard the Beatles, man. 8 years age. Well, at that time it was 6 years age. We had 1,000 of them in the aging room, tucked away in this like little box.
that poor guy.
So I just every time I go down to the factory, I grab one. Well, not one. I grab my limit, which is 100, to bring back to the.
Oh hell
States.
yeah. See, this goes back to the I wish I talked about Giannini beforehand, and we got the chance to explore the whole place, and he gave us a full tour. We did a little recorded in the conference room. It's like, here's the humidor. Make sure you, what was that at the time? The master and pupil were just coming out.
Wait.
Let-
Kevin,
Yes, sir.
Jeremy, to meet someone for the first time
It wasn't the first. It was the first time we met there.
at their place, first time they invite you to their business. They offer you a cigar for the show. Then they say, "Oh, if you like some more, take some more cigars." How many would you take?
2, 3 maybe.
I would
3 max.
I would start taking cigars until they started to wince, and
Okay,
then I'd
so-
put that one back.
so-
that
so
last
me and
one.
Jeremy-
Thank
me and Jeremy were on the
Thank
same
you, sir.
page, whereas you were more like Miguel, grabbing boxes.
No. He gave us 2 boxes because he opened up the master and pupil, handed us 2 for the show, and like, oh, here, take the boxes with you, show off later. And then he opens up the cabinet and it's got one of all the archetypes. My favorite design on them was the sacred scales. That beautiful under UV light wolf, just incredible. Like, I get this, and he's like, yeah. Well, then if you're gonna do that, get the Dawn of Destiny because they came out together. And I was like, yes. He's like, yeah. So I took 1 box, and it was offered the second one.
Took one box here, how somehow we left us like 7 or 8.
That I'm not regretting that moment at all because that was a phenomenal stick and still some of my favorite artwork ever put onto a box. It was just beautiful.
So every once in a while, these get a little tight because they've been just sitting there for so long. So if you get a tight one, just toss it and grab another one.
Not
It's
an
not
issue.
good, but I'm working it out.
Working out a
I
little bit.
think I'll find, and also as the tobacco warms up,
Yep.
your tightness can actually go away.
Loosens up quite a bit. Yeah.
Yeah. This is already starting to loosen up, so
I-
it's heating up. It's heating up well. And what people don't understand, some of these folks that watch this, they may not understand that the humidity in the cigar when it warms up, it may not be very pliable, but once it gets hot again, with that heats up the liquid or the moisture,
Well, as it expands.
and then it allows the cigar to open up some.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can do the opposite, and tighten it up.
It's a fair point.
But most of the time it loosens up. So
I think I've just been a very lucky individual. I've had very few cigars that were so plugged that I had to like either try to cut and relight or had to get rid of completely. Not stem issues. And I've had guys like sit right next to me. They had the same cigar, same box, and they had that issue. I'm, knock on wood that luck continues because this is perfect right now.
this has an excellent draw right out there after I played with it a little bit, but also being box pressed, you can kind of just
Yeah, just open it up. A little.
open it up a little bit, And that is, I don't
That's
think
tasty.
I've ever had a box press Lancero.
I think it was the first time we ever did it, honestly. I mean, a Lancero is hard enough to sell. A box press Lancero? That's
Well,
tough.
It's
I-
hard enough.
Dude, it's crazy.
The nerds are there, and I'm one of them that will buy that, no problem.
Me too.
Friggin' Saka making fun of me because all I want to talk about was the Lanceros he's pushing.
I love Lancero. Can't sell them.
It's difficult. I don't
It's a
understand it.
connoisseur's size.
Right.
It's true. And you're already looking at, there's a lot of people in the US, but there's only so many smoked cigars. And then that number also shrinks once you get down to that Lancero size. Because guys like their big ring gauge, like that 60 by 6. It's totally fine. It's not my favorite, but there's some really good ones at that. But if I get my way, there'd be every cigar would have a Lancero in the lineup.
Well, they think that getting a really big fat cigar is the value.
I guess to a certain extent, they're not wrong either,
And
but
they're not. But on the flip side, when you're smoking a Lancero, you have the most flavorful leaf and the most of that flavorful leaf and the most expensive part of that flavor.
That's
Yeah.
correct.
And yeah, and do you want, as far as value goes, I would say, do you want time and value, or are you looking for experience and value? And I think this one leads towards, because sometimes if you puff slowly and babysit your Lancero, you're still going to get a good amount of time out of it. Versus the big guy, where I think you're kind of just putting your effort into the time versus the experience, which is
Well-
totally fine if you want that.
In your bigger ring gauge cigar, it's going to be a cooler smoke. Whereas a smaller ring gauge cigar, you have to finesse it a little bit so the smoke isn't too hot, and also you're not getting your cigar too hot and losing the flavor of the cigar. So this is a more experienced cigar smoker cigar, whereas your average Joe that maybe smokes a stick every 2 weeks,
Yeah.
that 6x60 is actually a better choice for him anyway, because he doesn't have like a rhythm down. I'm smoking 2 cigars. This one is deliberate. I mean, the draw on this is like sucking through a straw, and like a big gigantic McDonald's straw, and this one is like sucking through a regular size straw, and you're not getting that deliberate. You're getting a little bit more tightness, but you're getting more flavor out of this one compared to this one.
Oh yeah, I could agree with that. Yeah.
There's a
Sorry, I
lot,
don't mean-
lot of. That's a lot. You're correct. That's how it is. But this cigar is so good to me. I don't know. I couldn't tell you what's in it, but I could. But it's good. It's good. So I thought we should smoke something different.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, I'm enjoying the heck out of it already. We just started up. Now, talking about that guy, though, unfortunate for him, fortunate for everyone else involved. But how often do guys come to you guys for little short runs and stuff? Is it part of the business, or is it kind of taking the wayside because of how much more is coming out and focusing on your own stuff more?
Look, we always have room. room on the table, right?
Nice.
So we've definitely grown tremendously. In the 7 years I've been with Artista, our volume has more than doubled in what we're making. But somebody comes to us and wants to do something, and they have the passion for it, and that's usually what we're looking for. You know, a guy will call me because I manage that stuff. So he'll call me up and say, "Hey, I want to do this." I say, "Great. Slap on your boots, grab your passport, and head down to the Dominican Republic, because that's where the work's going to happen. I mean, we can send you samples in the mail, but you're not going to get the experience. You need to be there, and you have to demonstrate a level of commitment." So it does happen. And, I mean, Sinistro, that's how we met James.
Yeah.
You know, he came to the factory and said, "Hey, can we do some stuff?" Heck yeah, man. You seem crazy cool. Let's go.
Crazy, at least, at the very least.
I love James. Dude.
Nah, yeah. If it wasn't, it wasn't for him.
Honestly, man, he's got a huge heart.
Yeah.
Huge heart.
He's helped keep us going throughout this whole thing. He's one of the first people who, like, yeah, they're gonna do stuff. They're gonna make this happen. And I would not be able to do what we do without his help. It's one of my favorite
one
people.
Of the 7 awards that we got.
Yes, he did. Yeah. I felt almost bad after giving them out from the reactions. It was just like a little a gag from me. I
thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, and Frankie, I pitched it to Frankie. He was on board, so I was like, just something to show appreciation, but I don't want anyone to think like we're playing favorites, because everyone you see on there, we love the cigars across the board. Love the people, which is the more important for us, because there's so many good cigars, but there's only so much room to show love to everybody. I don't want to just be NASCAR or everywhere patches. So we want to make sure we work with people that we really care about. We care about you guys. And I wanted to show a little bit of that. But when I took it to Alan over at Family, he almost started crying. And I'm like, "Oh, bro, no.
You can't give him the punchline then.
No, yeah. Like, but I got to read this part too. I got to let him know. I just want him to know that, yeah. But
I was about to say, this isn't that kind of shit.
It's okay. Like, you want to shed a couple tears, I'll do the same with you. But I'm gonna do it later though. I'll do off camera. I got to show my manly side with the pink shirt on. Oh.
Yeah, I was about to say a pink and purple check. You did real good.
Hey, pink is the most manly color you can wear. All right, I'm not. This is it. All right, I look good.
Carry around a pink one, so we don't mind us.
There we go. See, you know what's up. Having said that, though, before we continue, we're at an hour and 20 right now. Rich, I'm so sorry I didn't say hi, by the way, brother. I hope you're doing well. I want to make sure that we talk about the Hall of Fame a bit, because we didn't go into that really. We just talked about 2 sizes and the limited edition size.
Yeah.
Now, when you did the Ortiz, the Big Poppy, in the baseball, the baseball bat in that glass case, freaking awesome. Are we gonna get any more of that for the Hall of Fame, or is that just like, for that inaugural, and then kind of the next? It's on to the next idea.
We don't like to repeat ideas.
Fair, very fair.
So we could have just come out with the 54x6 with the Toro for the HOF, but Ram came to me and said, "I want to do something special, and I can make this figurado kind of looks like a baseball bat, but it's not that baseball bat." And I said, "Great, let's put it into a special box. Let's do 541. He said, "I love that. That's the number of home runs that Ortiz has hit.
Yep.
So let's do that." And he said, "Should we have them individually numbered?" I said, "Yeah, let's do that. We've never done that before."
I love that.
And that's a total logistical nightmare, but we're going to do it.
But worth it.
It's totally worth it.
Yeah.
I mean, I've done that before with a product called Pura Sangre and individually numbered boxes, and that was tough. But it's cool. And the HOF, I mean, it was at David's request, and it was at our honor that we can do it for him. He got first ballot. Obviously, a very talented individual, but a lot of talented individuals make it into the Hall of Fame. A very, very select few get that first ballot. And he was one of them. And it was incredible. And to get in that first shot, 2022, I mean, we had to do this for him.
Oh, yeah.
It took 18 months of development to come up with something that was as spectacular and could match his career and his heart and what he stands for. Because he's a great ball player. But if you get a chance to sit in the room with him, you'll find out he's a really solid dude.
Love that.
And he could sit around here with us. And he'd be cracking way more jokes and be a lot funnier than me. But honestly, he's just that guy. If you didn't know he played ball, you'd think he was just one of us because he doesn't need the spotlight. And we're so happy to do this with him and for him.
Love that. Love that. And then real quick, Rich, his entire class was first ballot.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, that's not a bad thing. There's nothing
Still
wrong.
a select
yeah.
few, man.
That's still, you're looking at how many people play the game
Right.
versus just the percentages alone it's staggering in your mind, and you never think about it until you actually sit and think about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Hurts your head a little bit.
Yeah.
Having said that, I think we're gonna wrap it up for tonight. I'm glad we got that on the docket because I want to make sure everyone knows, and there'll be more Artista cigars obviously on the podcast. Thank you so much for joining us. What do you got?
Thank you for having
We're gonna make Ram get over here too sooner. You know that, right?
Oh,
We gotta get his
man.
butt out here.
Trying to get a cigar owner across the Rockies, man, was crazy.
That yeah, we've learned that. Very yeah.
They stop in Denver and they go, "Oh, this flight's way too long."
Nah, it's enough. We're going back. My God, yeah. That's why whenever anyone walks to this side of the country, it's always an event.
Mm-hmm.
It's ridiculous, but can't blame you. California's California. It's a crazy place.
Beautiful country, terrible politics.
Pretty much. But guys, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for sticking with us. I know we usually go for an hour, but we had a very fun conversation. Jeremy, thank you for joining us. Appreciate you being here.
Thanks for having me.
Aaron, thanks
Good call.
for jumping in,
Call.
and thank you for the gift.
We will be back. We apologize for Monday and not being able to make it work with James. It was a family emergency on our end. That's not his fault, other than all the other times. Those are his fault. Just this once. But we'll have him on as soon as we can reschedule. And guys, there's a lot more coming your way, so please stick with us. We'll see you Monday, if not a little bit sooner, so we can finish that bracket that we've been working on. A little bit lagging behind that, but that's because there's so much happening right now. So please stick with us. Hope you filled it out. If not, I'll have Frankie post a picture of it soon so you can see it all. And we'll talk to you soon.